Seriously, don't go having kids with a guy you've broken up with, okay? Oh, could it be that you can't forget about me? Thinking about having a kid would mean you're still connected to me in some way. How noble of you, huh? Hey, what's up with that? It's really ridiculous. Looking back, breaking up was definitely the right decision. Being with such a delusional man, I would never have been able to find the happiness I have now. Today, I want to talk about my unforgettable dark history and the rebellion that followed. My name is Maggie. I'm a 53-year-old homemaker who finds joy in doing housework while watching the morning news show. Back then, I was 38, living a peaceful life with my husband, Tony, or so it seemed. But around that time, a sense of unease started to flow through our home. Tony would respond to my words with, "So what?" or "and," in a strangely oppressive or indifferent manner. When I tried to continue the conversation with, "So you see," he'd cut me off with, "I'm busy." It felt dismissive, as if I was being brushed aside. It wasn't that he had always been like this. If anything, he was a talkative person who liked to joke around and make me laugh whenever he had the chance. But then this transformation happened. It was such a sudden change. I wondered if I had done something wrong, but couldn't think of anything specific. One day I found a faint lipstick mark on the back of a shirt Tony had sent for laundry. The day he wore that shirt, he came home late, saying he had to work overtime. It's hard to imagine someone at his male-dominated workplace leaning on his back with lipstick on. If there was such a person, that would be too scary to imagine. Could it be a woman? I naturally came to that conclusion, but a lipstick stain alone is hardly proof. There are endless excuses one could make, like bumping into someone by accident. I decided to wait and gather more evidence, carefully watching for any unusual behavior in Tony. Ironically, just paying a little more attention led to a plethora of evidence of infidelity. For example, Tony would always get up to go to the bathroom around 2 a.m. when sleeping at night. I had never doubted him before, but it turned out he was using that time to talk to a woman on the phone. There were times when long hairs would come out from the inside of his suit, and sometimes upon closer inspection, his handkerchief seemed to have wiped something resembling lipstick. The clincher was when I borrowed Tony's car after a long time and found a colored lip balm. Unless Tony was into using colored lip balm, this was the most undeniable evidence yet. 10 years into our marriage, the frustration of having my husband stolen by some newcomer and the pure loneliness and resurgence of affection for my husband made me wonder, can we really not start over? Is there no way to make him look back at me once more? Isn't there a way to rekindle something that has cooled down? As I was pondering this, the possibility of my pregnancy became apparent. It's a gift from God to be pregnant at this timing, goes without saying. We didn't have children. Perhaps the monotony in our relationship was the cause of Tony's infidelity. Maybe this pregnancy could bring about a change. With that hope, I brought up the pregnancy to Tony. But, "What? Give me a break, that's so annoying. Let's break up." I couldn't believe my ears. Well, in hindsight, I realized my judgment and expectations were too naive. The chances of a man who's cheating coming back to his partner are slim to none. It's not like in the trendy dramas where things work out smoothly. But back then, I truly believed that since we married out of love, we can surely get back together. Can you really say that? It's your child. Even so, a child is better off without a father like me. Besides, you've realized it too, right? Seeing Tony's smirking face made my heart jump. That I'm cheating. Pretending not to know about my husband's affair and plotting to return to a relationship as if nothing happened because of my pregnancy felt like being pushed off a cliff. At that time I thought, if the affair comes to light, our relationship will become tense, and Tony will never come back. However, I was mistaken. I did all sorts of things wanting you to find out, but you never said anything. I got tired of waiting. What? I was waiting for you to say, "This is unforgivable, let's get divorced." Man, you're making me work too hard. You're kidding, right? I wouldn't make up such a hassle. Have a cute 24-year-old girlfriend now. A 38-year-old about to get pregnant and gain weight? I have no use for an old lady like that anymore. After saying that, Tony added a predictable dad joke. If you get pear-shaped, you're useless. And laughed out loud by himself. Not funny at all. Here, take this. I'll pay compensation or whatever, just sign it already. What he presented was a divorce paper. Afterwards, I cried for 3 days and nights, and finally, as Tony stopped coming home, I made up my mind and signed the divorce papers. 5 years later, I was afraid of getting older and being single, but fortunately, I remarried my childhood friend Alex, who is also divorced, and we've been living modestly with our child. Alex, too, had been cheated on by his wife, an experienced veteran of a messy divorce. Because we both shared the same pain, living with him felt very comfortable. He would book a fancy restaurant for our anniversary every year and give me somewhat expensive gifts on my birthday. I felt cherished. I wish these days could continue forever. As I thought so, we welcomed our anniversary this year. A pleasant meal at the usual fancy restaurant was supposed to happen. Whoa, it's Maggie. The one who grimaced upon seeing my face was my ex-husband. What? Why are you here? I couldn't hide my disgust. What a tragedy. I had accidentally encountered my ex-husband coming out of the bathroom. What? It's a business reception. Unlike you hanging around looking bored, I'm busy. Huh? My ex-husband suddenly glanced behind me and approached quickly. Huh. So you had the kid we made that time. That's just creepy. Saying that, he pulled up the child's hand and started saying outrageous things while looking closely. Seriously, don't go having kids with a guy you've broken up with, huh? Oh, could it be that you can't forget about me? Thinking that having a kid would mean you're still connected to me in some way. How noble of you, huh? Hey, what's up with that? My ex-husband, while smirking and seemingly enjoying himself, spun the child around right there. The child's face gradually distorted and started crying out loud. Daddy, Mommy, help! A stranger is taking me away. No, I'm your daddy. Your mommy is right there. You're just like her, a silly kid. The moment my ex-husband said that, a man over 6.3 feet tall appeared from behind and grabbed my ex-husband's arm firmly. This child is mine, you know. Huh? Seeing my bewildered ex-husband, I almost burst into laughter. Huh? This person, Maggie's remarried partner? Without answering my ex-husband's question, I don't know what you've been saying, but you don't think making someone's son cry will go without consequences, do you? The tall man said, glaring at my ex-husband. Glancing at the arm, a tattoo peeked out, causing my ex-husband's face to turn pale instantly. Hey, Maggie, stop your husband. Huh? That woman is not my wife. Huh? My ex-husband was puzzled again, looking back and forth between me, the man, and the crying child. Huh? What? What's the deal with this kid? Before he knew it, my ex-husband was tied up by the tall man. This man is a suspicious individual repeating nonsensical things. Someone call the waiter. There's a person here harming a child. The man's shout stirred the restaurant. So much for our important anniversary. It turned into quite the day. While I smirked to myself, it turned out to be a good day, even if by accident. Waiter, over here. I saw this man forcibly grabbing the child's arm. My words left my ex-husband gaping. What? Hey, Maggie, what? What's going on? Seriously, I have no idea what's happening. As my husband frantically shouted, I said to him, I'm not the wife of that man, and that child is neither mine nor yours. But you were right behind him. You were standing in the narrow passage by the toilet entrance, blocking the child from entering. This child was simply following his dad into the restroom when you interfered. What? You might want to make a fool out of people, but jumping into conclusions should be kept in moderation. Why don't you pay more attention to your surroundings? What? Shut up. You have no right to tell me that. Right. A suspicious person wouldn't get my gracious words, would they? I'm not a suspicious person. Oh, please. Any man who speaks to an unknown child and grabs their arm using baby talk like I'm your daddy is suspicious, no matter how you look at it. Oh, that's because... And then, your mom is right there, isn't she? Do you still think you're married to me? As I smirked, my ex-husband's face turned red, and he shouted, Don't mess with me. However, the louder he was, the tighter the nearby man gripped him. Ouch. Hey, man, Let go. I'm innocent. Innocent? It's undeniable that you made our precious son cry, isn't it? But that's a misunderstanding.
Quickly, I said, but it's a fact that you misconstrued and laid hands on someone else's son. Tony glared at me and said, You. Oh no, I'm being glared at by a suspicious person. How scary. Though I said it flatly, pretending to be cute seemed to irritate him just right as my ex-husband started to struggle wildly to free himself. Considering you still think you're married to me, oh, could it be that you can't forget about me? I deliberately said what my ex-husband had said to me earlier. As expected, he got angry, and sensing danger, the man then rolled him onto the floor and pinned him down.
You thought you could get out of my grip? Big mistake.
Well, it might be a light threat from the man, but the tattoos added a real sense of danger. My ex-husband must have thought,
Today might be the day I die. Hey, Maggie, say something, will you? It's a misunderstanding.
But pulling up someone else's child's hand is neither a misunderstanding nor anything else.
I thought he was my child.
My ex-husband became almost tearful, sounding like a child, and I burst out laughing. Claiming my child without acknowledgement or child support?
What?
Did I ever discuss recognition or child support with you after we got divorced?
No, I wasn't planning to recognize it anyway. You knew that, so you didn't contact me, right?
Are you stupid? I wouldn't do such a foolish thing while raising a child alone. Admit it. I would have pursued you relentlessly until you paid.
Though why?
Back then, the pregnancy test was wrong. I wasn't pregnant after all. The gynecologist confirmed it, so I decided to sign the divorce papers. Indeed, during those 3 days when the divorce was discussed and my husband stopped coming home, I did cry. However, with a child on the way, I couldn't just divorce without understanding the situation, so I first went to the gynecologist. Even if I were to divorce, I wanted to sort out things like compensation, child support, and future living expenses. If not, divorcing meant the child could benefit, I was willing to endure. However, the gynecologist found no signs of pregnancy, but instead discovered a tumor in my ovaries. During surgery for that tumor, I happened to share a room with the mother of my current husband, Alex. Since Alex and I were childhood friends, I knew his parents. Reconnecting with Alex during his visit, we grew close again. I once thought this pregnancy was a blessing for a child with my husband and a gift from God at this timing. However, it actually brought me to a partner with whom I could truly say it was right to leave my ex-husband and allowed for the early detection of my illness. And last year, despite having one ovary removed, I had a child with my current husband. It seemed like a series of unfortunate events, but for me it was actually filled with good fortune. Knowing everything, my ex-husband's face turned pale, muttering,
No way, I was dumped by that woman.
Laughing at the fact that he was dumped goes without saying. Well, it's obvious a young girl wouldn't want to be with an aging man like him. That's when the police arrived, called by someone from the restaurant. My ex-husband received a stern warning from the police. The misunderstanding was cleared up and he apologized profusely to the child's family, avoiding making a big deal out of it. It seems being scolded by the police was quite damaging. He even apologized to me. Since my ex-husband doesn't know where I live now, he actually went to my parents' house to convey his apologies.
I was wrong for the way we parted.
As he got older and was abandoned by his affair partner, no one paid him any attention, and he seemed to feel the loneliness of having no one to console him. Well, it's too late for apologies now. I continue to ignore my ex-husband. If we hadn't met there, honestly, I would have gradually forgotten about him. By the way, noticing I hadn't returned to my seat for a while, my current husband, Alex, had come to the restroom to fetch me. However, he decided to watch from the shadows, thinking,
This might be Maggie's first and last chance to get back at her ex-husband. Of course, I was ready to jump in if anything happened, but that man restraining him was just too strong.
Oh, that guy used to be the captain of a football team.
No wonder he's strong. No place for me then. I was terrified. I thought he was from some dangerous profession.
Laughing at this, I joined in. Normally, one might say that's not very manly. But my husband didn't have to deal with my ex, and I thought it was a problem I should solve myself. I realized I lacked strength during the divorce. Despite everything, my actions at the time were merely following my ex-husband's and his affair partner's demands, receiving only a nominal amount of compensation. Reality doesn't always progress like fairy tales, so it wasn't possible to demand a hefty compensation, and I had lost the strength to resist. But in the end, being able to speak my mind to my ex-husband with unwavering intent, I believe I became truly strong. Now I can face my husband and child proudly. Coincidentally, this year's anniversary has become a new beginning for me. Currently, with my husband working as a freelance first-class architect and our income doubled, I've quit my part-time job to enjoy being a full-time housewife. Our slightly rebellious daughter complains when asked to do something, but quietly helps out when not asked. Having only one daughter due to a late pregnancy, our family of three, plus 2 dogs, lives a lively daily life. Despite not having children with my ex-husband and only one ovary, I was able to conceive and give birth at an advanced age with my current husband. This, in a way, might also be fate. The dream of marrying my special destined partner that I secretly admired as a child, I never thought it would come true through remarriage. Such dreamy thoughts cross my mind as I cherish the everyday happiness that seems ordinary but is anything but.